Hello, good morning, my dear friends. We are going to discuss today the food process industry and over the opportunity of the challenges. So this is our chapter number 6 and also uh, agriculture sector. This lecture is our fourth lecture. Okay, so let's start. What is the Indian agrarian centers? Indian produce 200 million tons of the food grains of which it is one among of largest producer of the wheat rice. It is the second largest producer of the groundnuts, fruits, vegetables, and which account for the 10% of the world fruits production. And the country is leading in the production of the mango, banana. India is the world's largest producer of the milk, owing to the strong business models which are the formed through the cooperative movements in the country. Meat pottery has also gained the popularity. The cooperative movements in the country, popularity, and due to the emergency of the producers, and that we have the integrated breeds, feed, millings, and the contracts, and the growing in the market facility, which result is the improving the productivity. Meat, fish, and poultry are in rural area. They are the easily affordable provided the necessary the nutrients. In recent year, there has been the shifted the conventional farming of the food grains to horticulture, which include the fruit, vegetable, and ornamental crops, medical and aromatics, the plant species, plantations crops, including the coconuts and cashew nuts and coca, and allied to the activities. The nascent of the food processing. So, nascent of the food processing. So, despite the agrarian centers of the productions in the India, the food processing industry is still is the nascent of the stage, but holding up the tremendous the potentials of the growth. The considered to be the widened range of the large raw materials, the base that the country offered along the with a consumer, the base over the 1 billions of the people. Industry holds the tremendous of the opportunity for the large investment and the untapped of the market. Even though the Indian agriculture production base is the reasonable strong, it has to the low productivity is the large livelihoods activity. It is also be characterized by the high levels of the wastage over the 35%, especially in fruits and vegetables. Processing of the fruit vegetables is low, 2%. Around the 35% is milk, 25% of the meats, and 6% in the poultry production. By the international comparison, these levels are the significant low. The processing of the agriculture produce is a ground 40% of the in China, 30% in the Thailand, 70% in Brazil, 78% in Philippines, and 80% in Malaysia. Value addition in agriculture produce in country in India is the hardly the 25%. Another is the importance of the aspect in organized the sector, which has a very little presence in a largely the dominated by the unorganized sector. For example, in the fruit vegetable segments, over the 95% is by the unorganized sector. The food processing industry is India has a very small share of the 1.5% in the GDP total GDP of the country. As part of the total around the 9% in shares in world trade in respective of the processing the food is only about the 1.6%. I hope you wanted whatever I tell now. The potential of processing, the Indian food processing is the point for the huge growth, increasing the contribution to the world, the food trade every year. In India, the food sector has emerged as the high growth and high profit sector due to its eminence, the potential for the value addition, particularly within the food processing. The food industry, which is the currently valued US dollar 359.71 billion, is expected to be the growing at the compounded annual growth rates CAGR 11% of the US to 11% of percent to the US 65.4 billions by the 2018. The food groceries and account for the around the 31% of the Indian consumption basket, account for the about the 32% of the country's the total food market. The government of the India has the instrumental in the growth of the developments of the food processing industry. The government through the Ministry of Food Processing Industry is making the all effort to the increasing the investment in the business. It has approved the proposal for the joint venture, the foreign collaboration industry license, 100% export, the oriented unit. In Indian food and grocery market is the world's sixth largest and retailer contribution to the 70% of the sale. The food has also been one of largest segments in India. The retail sector, which has to the value the $7 490 billions in 2013. India food retailer markets is expected to be the 61 lakhs crore, means $894.89 billions by the 2020, according to the Confederation of the Indian Industries. The food processing sector has to be the potential to attract the $33 billions investment in the 10 year, can be generate the employment of the 9 million person day. So this is the potentials of the food industries. So we discuss it all things. Okay. So Ministry for Food Processing Industry. So what is it, and what did do this ministry by this ministry? So realize to the importance of the food processing and its potentials in India. The government set up the separate ministry for the food processing industry during the 1998 with a following the under its the purview. First one is the fruit vegetable processing, grain processing, process of the fish processing, and the refrigeration of the certain agricultural products, dairy products, poultry, eggs, meats, and meat products. Industry that are the related to the bread, oil seed, meals, and the breakfast food and biscuit, confectionery, melt, extra protein, isolate, high protein, food, winnings, food and extruded food products, and included other. Okay, beer including alcohol drinking to the from the non molasses base, and the arid waters and soft drinks. Vision of 2015 for the food processing sectors aim to following. First one is the enhancing the stabilization of the income level of the farmers, providing the choice to the consumer in terms of the wide variety, tasting including traditional ethnic food. Third is the providing the greater of the assurance in terms of the safety of the quality of the food consumer on the promoting the dynamic food processing industry, enhancing the competitiveness of the food processing industry in both of the domestic as well as international market. Establishes the food processing sectors attractive for both and domestic and foreign investors. Achieve the integration of the food processing infrastructure from to the market, farmer to market. Having the transparent, industry-friendly regulation regime. Arrange in place of transparent systems of the standards basis of the science. The target having to be the setup for the year 2015. First, increasing the level of the processing of the perishable for the 6.6 to 20%, increasing the value addition for the 20 to 35%, share in the global food trade increasing to be the 1.5 to 3%. So this is the things. Okay. So government initiative, some of the initiative also government took, so we have to know about. Okay, let's start. Some of the major initiatives taken by the government of the India to improve the food processing in the sectors of India. So first one is the government of the India allocated the 1,500 crores, means $225.7 million, and the announced the various of the measures under with the mercantile exports for the Indian schemes, including setup of the agencies for the aquaculture, fisheries, coastal states, and export to incentive of the marine products. Union Budget 2016-17 has to the proposed to the 100% FDI through the FIBP the foreign investment promotion and boards routes of the in marketing of the food products and produced the manufacture in India. All of the ration cards in India have to be the digitized, and 42% of the digitized ration cards are now on the linkage of the unique identification or Aadhaar card. Government of the India, Government of India, the plan to the follow the two, sorry, allowed to two dairy companies, Parag Milk Food and Satrebhar Dynamics of the dairies to the export to the milk products and to the Russia for the 6 months after with the companies the got to the approval for their product to by the Russian inspection of the authorities. Okay, MS Harsimit Kaur Badal, Union Minister of Food Processing Industry to the government of the India has inaugurated the first its kind of the 1.6 crores mega international food park Dabdwala Khana Punjab is okay. Former Food Safety Standards Authority of India has issued the rule for in the importance of the food products and addressing the concern over the entry of the standards in terms of the simplify the processing by setting the shelf life norms and relaxing the label guidelines. Okay, Ministry of Food Processing Industry announced it to the scheme for the Women's Resources of Development in food processing sectors. HRD is the schemes of the being to implementing through the state governments under the National Mission Food Processing. Okay, thank you friends. This is our chapter. We completed the 4 lectures. Well, we will do the one also. Okay, thank you. Subscribe, like and share it.